If you thought the Philadelphia 76ers were actually going to be healthy this year, congratulations, you played yourself. Take your right hand, smack yourself in the face. Joel Embiid still on the injury report. New additions, Kelly Oubre, Adem Bona. Paul George might actually play. I wouldn't bet money on it. You know, since Adem Bona is hurt and Joel Embiid, it looks like Janai Broome is going to have to play in the Clippers game. Let's talk about all of it right now. I'm going to need something stronger than this coffee. Sixers, why won't you just lose and put me out of my misery? Why do you got to keep doing this to me, bro? Nobody else should touch the ball right here. He shoots it from the logo. Oh, we're going overtime! Tyrese Maxey is a god amongst men! That is right, ladies and gentlemen. Joel Embiid out again. Knee. This is the right knee soreness. While recovering from left knee surgery. He's 31 years old. He's had 4 knee surgeries, and we get to do this until 2029. Kelly Oubre Jr. is out with a hyperextended left knee. We're going to, if you haven't seen that play where he hurt his knee, we're going to play that for you. Adem Bona is out with a sprained ankle. Sometimes Adem Bona is unplayable. He's so athletic, but he's so young and raw and hasn't been playing basketball for very long. He's really bad at the intangibles and just the basic, fundamentals of basketball. But we won't even have him now. We got to go with Janai Broome at backup center. Paul George is listed as questionable. Guy who had knee surgery 7 months ago. No ligament damage involved in that surgery. The recovery time for a surgery such as that is about 10 weeks. It has been 22 weeks. He's been practicing for a month. Last thing we heard is they're working on the strength in his left quadricep, but he's questionable. Here's the first thing I'm going to say about all of this, and I'm going to go through all the updates on every single player individually, but I think I'm going to start with Paul George. With all these players out, and Paul George practicing now for like 2 months and being upgraded to questionable against the Clippers. If Paul George finds a way to not play in this game, then the jig is up. The verdict is out. He is on $50 million PTO and he's not interested in playing basketball. There is no reason whatsoever for Paul George to not play in this game tonight against the Clippers. This will define his legacy as a Philadelphia 76er. Not that he has one, because it's a 4-year contract and we're going on 2 years now of him just not playing basketball. I'm just going to ask a question about Joel Embiid. All right, just a simple question. After last season, trying to get him on the court the whole year and him just not being able to get on the court, right? And remember this report from Shams on February 23rd. Sixers and Joel Embiid are consulting doctors and considering alternative options on his injured left knee. I don't know what alternative options are besides amputating his leg. Sides have hoped for progress in Embiid's body, but his efforts to play in current treatments, including injections, have not provided any improvement. Right, and then 5 days later, Joel Embiid was ruled out for the season. And now you go into this year, he's played 6 out of 12 games. 4 out of those 6 games, he's looked like a shell of himself. And you get right knee soreness. And I'm just going to ask this question. How long are the 76ers going to do this before they say, it's time to medically retire? How long are they going to do this? How many years in a row is it going to take of Joel Embiid just not being able to get on the floor? How many years in a row are they going to do it before they say, we signed you until 2029. You cannot physically perform the contract that you signed. We want out. I just want to know how many years. Are they going to just be like, Joel's not getting better. Joel can't get on the floor. Joel has knee soreness. Joel's not playing. Are we just going to do this the whole contract? I just want to know, how many years are they going to do this? We do have some good news in this video, by the way. Just stick around for the good news, okay? Now, in case you didn't see it and you're wondering what the hell happened to Kelly Oubre, well, Kelly Oubre joins the Philadelphia 76 knee injuries. Here's what happened to Kelly Oubre the other night. There he is right at midcourt. You see him? Bang. What did we do? What did we do in a past life, man? What did we do in a past life to deserve this? Basketball gods, when are you going to grace us with some mercy? Or are you just going to beat us down for the rest of eternity? Now, with Adem Bona having a sprained ankle, and we don't even really know when Adem Bona sprained his ankle, probably one of those plays where he just football tackled someone under the rim, because, again, he's just doesn't really know how to play basketball that well. Janai Broome is going to get minutes at backup center against the Clippers tonight. And Janai Broome 2 days ago in the G League had a 26-10-4 game. But my gut feeling about Janai Broome, and I like him a lot. I think he's very skilled. But I think he's a G League player. I think he's a Summer League, G League player. I just think him being undersized and very unathletic, like basically the least athletic player in the league, the worst vertical in the combine. I don't see him standing a chance against NBA centers, and if he gets on the floor against Zubac, I don't think it's going to be good. I think he can score. I think he can do things offensively, right? Don't get me wrong. I think he's incredibly skilled, but as an NBA center defensively, I just don't see it. He's undersized, and he can't move. And I unfortunately, I think that's what you're going to see in his minutes tonight. He's very skilled. He's also very fundamental. He's probably, like, technically the best rebounder on this team as far as positioning. He knows where to be on the floor. He's also a really good connective passer. You can go high-low with Janai Broome. You can do a lot of things offensively. I'm not seeing it defensively, and it's why he hasn't gotten on the floor yet for the 76ers, because I think Nick Nurse knows it too. So I just personally have a bad feeling about Janai Broome in his minutes tonight against the Clippers. I hope I'm wrong. Again, I'm not just being a hater. I'm just trying to be 100% honest with you, and I hope I'm wrong. Now, I'm not going to be super negative on Paul George because I think he looks very healthy. And there's a play right here, this practice clip of him driving to the rim, and you know, it's way in the background. I wish a reporter could have got closer. But, you know, he and we've seen this multiple times now, of him driving and putting all of his weight on his knee. The little Euro step there, plant on the right side. I think Paul George is healthy. And I actually do think we're going to get the Paul George that we signed up for, finally. And I know I was so hard on him last year, and I questioned his mental a lot of times, but there's another side of me that feels bad for Paul George last year, because he was going out there and trying, and I think the double hyperextended left knee really ruined his mental last year, and you know, he was timid going to the rim. And so if he's healthy, we actually might get the Paul George that we signed up for. And all the clips that I've seen him in practice, he looks healthier than he did all last year. And the update here by Keith Pompey is that Paul George was rocking the blue jersey in practice, which is worn by the starters. He had the gray jersey on previous practices. So it does look like Paul George is going to start in this game. And again, if he doesn't play in this game, then I don't even know what to say about Paul George anymore, because I can't find any reason on the entire internet for Paul George to not play in this game tonight. So we might get Paul George back, and he looks healthy. I mean, like, he looks 100% just by what we're seeing on these practice clips. So I'm optimistic about Paul George tonight. And the other positive news is Jared McCain. Jared McCain is available to play tonight for the 76ers after playing 2 games in the G League. I thought he looked good in the G League. Here's what Jared McCain said about his time in the G League. I feel a lot better. Just getting to play up and down and get the breathing room. I trust my knee. There's been no pain whatsoever. It's just more getting back to playing how I can play. And I never had any doubts about Jared McCain coming back. And, even his couple of minutes in a couple of games this year for the Sixers, I thought he looked fine. I just thought he wasn't making shots. But as far as ball handling and creation, I thought he looked just like he looked last season. He's the only point guard on this roster. And if you guys have been watching the Sixers and you've watched their dreadful second unit led by Quentin Grimes, the turnover machine himself, you'll agree that the 76ers need Jared McCain, if not at starting point guard, to free up Tyrese Maxey. They definitely need him coming off the bench at backup point guard because that second unit doesn't have a point guard, and it's why they're one of the worst. They're the worst third quarter team in the NBA, and it's why they scored 15 points in the fourth quarter last game. 76ers need Jared McCain. He's healthy. He doesn't have the giant brace on his knee anymore. He's wearing a sleeve. I'm really, really, really looking forward to Jared McCain tonight versus the Clippers. Speaking of the Clippers, or the 76ers West, the oldest team in NBA history, here's the Clippers injury report. Kawhi Leonard is out tonight, injury management. Bradley Beal hurt his hip a couple of days ago, the worst contract in the history of American sports. Bradley Beal is out. Jordan Miller is out with a hamstring. Derek Jones Jr. is out with a knee. This is a cripple fight. That's what it is. Shout out to that one South Park episode. Cripple fight! This is a cripple fight. This is the two oldest, most injured teams in the NBA playing together. And honestly, if I owned this game as a television broadcaster, I would just cancel it. The Clippers are 4-9. James Harden was balling, for a couple of games in a row now. What did he have? 40-point triple-double recently. So we'll see, man. Tyrese Maxey versus James Harden, the sensei versus the young prodigy. For those that watched, that season of Tyrese Maxey and James Harden kind of coaching him on the floor. So that's a pretty cool matchup, I guess. I think the thing I'm mostly looking at in this game is the backup center minutes, Janai Broome versus, hopefully not Zubac, depending on how they stagger the lineups. But Brook Lopez, John Collins, and Nicholas Batum. Brook Lopez and John Collins are... Zubac, Brook Lopez, and John Collins are going to destroy Janai Broome if he's on the floor. And Andre Drummond, to be honest with you. Well, yeah. So, I don't know. I don't feel great about tonight. And I'm sorry, man. I want to apologize. It's not my fault. It's the Sixers' fault. But I do want to apologize because I came into the season, I was positive again. People are like, Eastwood's being positive. I was negative all off season, right? I was like, this team's never going to be healthy. Why would I believe this team's going to be healthy? We're going to do the same thing we did last year. Why would I believe it's going to be any different? And then they got me. They hooked me at the beginning of the season. And I was like, oh my God, look what we have. This is actually exciting and fun. And then 12 games into the season, we are actually right back where we were, and I ended up being right the whole offseason. This team's never going to be healthy, and there's no reason to expect anything. So I'm back to being the most pessimistic Sixers fan on the planet, but it's because this is what they do to me, man. I'll see you guys tonight live right here. We'll watch the game together right here on this YouTube channel, Sixers Clippers at 7 o'clock. And then we'll do the post-game live where you can call me on the Discord. You know the drill. I'm out.